Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deepsouth Homestead. We're out here on our hugel bed now. We're fixing to plant our Manchurian bush apricots that we were sponsored by Gurney's with. We're going to plant them in line on the back of our hugel bed with the apricots we already have in the background that's already blooming. So we think that because those are doing well, the Manchurian bush apricots should do very well here on the hugel bed. So come on along and let's see if we can't get started getting these things in the ground. Alright, we're on the back of the hugel bed here now. We've dug our hole a little bit bigger than what the tree itself is, the roots. Now we can see the natural soil line on the tree where it used to be at, and we're going to bury it down to that deep and kind of make sure the taproot doesn't get J-rooted or something like that. We've got a hole plenty big, plenty deep to spread all the roots out. Make sure we're in good shape. And we actually dug down a little deeper in the hole and loosened the dirt up down there, so that we make sure it all works out really well. Now this is the Manchurian bush apricot. We have 4 of those from Gurney's as a support prop. And in the background here we have our other apricots that's already blooming. So I think this is going to work out really well here, the location, because these has done fantastic. So we're going to put a little dirt around it, take our time. All right, now, for those of you who are wondering, the word hugelkultur is actually a German word for a mounded hill of dirt. There's actually big logs piled all up under here several years ago that have decayed. We're putting these on the back side of this because all that decayed matter down in here is what these roots are going to feed off of. Now we're on the back side of it. The front side of it actually holds water when it rains. It's a lot like a swale. But with all the rotted material in this ground in here, the roots have plenty to feed on down in here. And this tree should do very well here because these are only a couple of years old and they're already 10 feet tall. They're doing wonderful on the back side of this hugel bed. So we're not really planting anything on it for vegetables anymore. Now that it's got to this point, we're basically using it for the trees to feed off of. So we're going to continue this. We get these trees, we'll probably put them all in, and then we'll come back and we'll water everything. Guys, we're going to plant 2 of our peaches down here on the lower side of our property here. It's the morning sun and the evening sun. It is blocked off with the cold north wind from hitting it here. Now we already have our plum trees growing in the background here. We have 3 plums that's already blooming. They're doing beautiful. Over here we have our bronze muscadines and our mayhaws in the background. So in our property here we are creating what we call a permaculture food forest. So we don't have any peaches on this side of the property in here, so we're going to add 2 peaches here to see if we can't kind of like bring this thing all together. Alright, you want to always dig your hole larger and deeper than you need so that you can backfill it and your tree really has some good loose soil for the roots. Now this here is the Alberta Standard Peach. This is a beautiful root system, guys. I mean, tell you, it is really nice. Looking at right here, that looks like it's okay.
And it's still green. It's
still green, beautiful.
Pop out.
I believe we'll dig the hole a little bit larger. I feel more comfortable. We don't want to restrict the roots in any way. All right. We're going to begin the backfilling process, crumbling it up, making sure it's good and loose in there. We don't want any air pockets is what we're trying to eliminate. You can take a little time while you're doing this now and do it right, and in the long run, in the future, it really pays off because you don't have to worry about your trees running the risk of dying because you got in a hurry. All right, we're going to try to see if we can't get these trees watered in. All right. I like to take my trees and pull them up and down and back and forth like this. That works out any air pockets in them, and then I'll push a little bit more dirt in around them. All right, put a little bit more water. All right. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll look at them and we'll check and see if once the water settles, make sure we don't have any exposed roots and where the ground is right. And then we will begin the process of trimming the trees because they're bare root. We'll probably need to trim some of the limbs off of them in order to make sure we get the shape we want. Now this one here seems to be perfect. It's got a lot of lateral branches on it. I don't like my peach trees to be real high up in the air, so I may take and clip the top out of this one and choose the lateral branches down lower to be my branches for my peach tree here. So right now, all we're interested in is getting this tree in the ground and getting it settled. This tree will do great here. All right, guys, we're on the hill on the entrance going into our cabin. We have a methyl plum right there. We're going to be planting this plum here. We got the whole orchard behind us. So this will be a beautiful entrance coming into the cabin property here. And the soil here looks like it's perfect for this tree. It's nice and soft and black. I believe it's going to do really good here. Now this is the plum ruby sweet. We believe that this variety will do very well here in the South. We're going to give it a shot and see. And I'm excited to see how it actually turns out, guys. Okay, we're over here at the cabin. We're next to what we call our allium garden. We have all of our onions and shallots and all that type of good stuff growing in there. We're going to be putting these apple trees in a row here on the north side of that, so that they get some good early morning sun, but they get a little bit of evening shade. They're not really bombarded by the heat of the afternoon where they're at right here. We're going to be moving the Dorset Goldens over here by the cabin because we already have the Anna here, and we have an Ein Shamir on the way far end down yonder. We feel like the two Dorset Goldens on this end up here will have their pollinators that they need in order to be able to produce an abundant crop of apples in the future. So we got to get these two holes dug and get these in, and then move on to the next trees. Okay, as you can see, we're here behind our cabin. So we've picked a spot here. We just pushed and cleared this land about 3 months ago. And I think that because it's new ground, it's going to be an ideal place to stick a few apple trees and our other trees that we have chosen here, our plum trees. We're going to put our Whitney crab apple here, and then we're going to put our other apple here next to it. The Granny Smith apple, I believe that it'll pollinate the Granny Smith. So because there's no other apples back here. So we're going to put those two apples behind the cabin back here. And then we're going to be putting our plum trees right up in front of it. They're our native plums. So I think that this location will be really good for them. As you see, I'm getting the evening and afternoon sun, which would be perfect for the apple trees, I believe, to kind of help them out a little bit. All right, we got one tree left in this batch. This is our Moon Glow pear. We decided to put it here behind the cabin with the smokehouse in the background, guys. This thing gets to be beautiful and white with blooms all over it. Well, what better view than the epic smokehouse in the background? I think it'll be the perfect location. We have another pear right here beside it. Was that a keeper? Yes, a keeper pear growing right here beside it. I think we'll be able to pollinate between the two of them all right. And we've got the smokehouse, the pears. I think we have a beautiful setup here, guys, for our permaculture backyard at our off-grid cabin. Right here by the garden, we have 2 Biloxi blueberries from Gurney's. We're going to be planting them side by side out here at the end of the garden here, because I think it'll be a good location. Plus, it'll just beautify the edge of the garden. We have our beautiful blueberry trees out here by our luscious garden whenever we get it up and get it going. Coming a beautiful. Look at that. The roots are growing straight down. They're not curling around. I like that. Okay, this is a dwarf blueberry here. This is a North Star dwarf we got from Gurney's. We're going to take one of our black mineral pots here that we have, and we're going to be putting this inside the greenhouse. Now, we've got it about half full of dirt right here. We're going to take it over to the shop, and we're going to finish amending the soil over there. We're going to plant the blueberry in it, and then get it ready to move into the greenhouse. All right, we're out here next to our cabin garden. We're going to put the red Latham raspberries out from the garden here just a piece where it gets the morning sun, hits it real good. It gets a little bit of afternoon shade. I think that these red Lathams will do fairly well here. So once we get these 2 red Lathams in, we're going to install a trellis system behind them here for the canes to grow up on. And hopefully we can get a start of them here and see how they do. And we want to thank Gurney's for sponsoring us with the fruit trees and the berries and the vines and everything that they've given us here to help us out here at Deep South Homestead to get our food forest and our permaculture system going. We really appreciate them, and we really want to say thanks for all that they've done. There will be a link in the description down below where you'll be able to go and purchase things from Gurney's through that link. There will be a promo code in the description down below, so that you can use that promo code and get a break off of what you buy and a percentage of it off. And guys, we're trying to do it to help y'all out and plus be a blessing to Gurney's at the same time. So once again, we want to thank Gurney's for sponsoring us here at Deep South Homestead.